and I'm pleased to share with you today, for the first time, our new logo.
Today, we're talking about the PS5 announcement, why it was kind of laughable, and what we actually know about it now. I'm Jeff Porter from Game Stinger, and here we go. All right, so before we begin, of course, I have to, tell you guys subscribe, go check out Facebook, like, follow, do all that stuff. So the PS5 announcement, let's get into it. It was pretty laughable. If you guys watched the video, I think we're going to share some of it here in a minute. But yeah, they announced the PS5 with the never before seen logo that is exactly like all the other logos, just, it's got a 5 now. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about the announcement video that was just, let's be honest, it was pretty horrible. And we're going to talk about the spec hardware features that they talked about. That was, it was rough. So the PS5 announcement, the video, felt like we were back in high school, right? And we had to give a talk about a book or something, do an announcement, a speech that we didn't want to do, and it had to be 5 minutes long. So we kind of, took our notes and we said it really slow. Waited for people to ask questions and watched the clock. That's what it felt like. It felt like that guy was just kind of pushed out there with a note card and said, okay, make this really great. And it was just completely lackluster. It didn't feel natural. It felt really weird. There was a potential joke maybe that we missed. I'm not really sure about that either. But we're going to talk about that a little bit. So the hardware, let's get into that real quick. At the end of this announcement video, he went through 5 things that's going to be in the PS5 for the hardware. So we have HD Blu-ray. Okay. We have ultra high speed SSD. Okay, that's fine. Seems pretty normal. Like that should be included. Hardware-based ray tracing, which is just a fancy way for graphics. It simulates the way that light bounces off of stuff. It simulates that more accurately in rendering. So things will look a little bit better. The scenery will be a little bit more real, and the light will be kind of more realistic. Okay, another thing that seems kind of like, yeah, duh, that should be in there. We have adaptive triggers. Didn't really get into that too much. I don't really know what that means because we already have I don't know. But adaptive triggers. So watch out for that in the PS5. And 3D audio. Okay. So now so there you go. Now you can watch a Blu-ray. Really awesome on the PS5. Didn't really give us anything that we didn't know. I mean, sure, there's some, hardcore based ray tracing. They get better graphics. They put in a fancy term in hardware to try to make it sound better than it actually is. While these things they're cool, they're great. I'm glad they're in the PS5, but it's nothing that we didn't really already know. That's just kind of how technology advances. So you expect the newest technology to be in the PS5. So I don't know. We didn't really hear or see anything. They didn't show us much. I know this was just kind of like a logo reveal, and they had to drop in some new things that they're doing. But the whole thing felt completely lackluster. The announcer felt completely dull. Like he didn't want to be there. He didn't really believe what he was saying, or he didn't know what he was saying. The whole thing was kind of a joke. You couldn't even hear crickets. It was so quiet. The crickets were like, you know what, we're just going to take this one off. We don't want to be there. It was odd. And I think there was supposed to be a joke. I think the announcer was going for a joke when he said, and now I'm very proud to show you guys never before seen the PS5 logo. that's exactly what happened too. Everything, it just went, there was not one wave, there was not 1 decibel of audio after he said that. There's been some ideas that maybe like that was supposed to be a joke and he just hit it wrong and didn't get it down. I don't know what happened, but it was completely awkward, completely didn't hit. It was just a miss through and through. So I don't know. It was just weird. So miss joke, the joke logo reveal, and 5 specs that we kind of already, if we didn't know, we kind of expected. Like I said, that's as technology advances, that's that makes sense. So like something that we don't really know but is expected is backwards compatibility. That's a big thing. We want to be able to play our PS4 games, our PS3 games, PS2 games, and our PS1 games. That's what PlayStation players want. I want to be able to go back and play Wizardry. I want to go back to be able to play Champions of Norath in HD on my PS5. So we still haven't really gotten anything. I suppose this is an official announcement. So since that trailer for Godfall came out with PS5 on it, everybody's kind of been losing their mind. We hadn't really gotten an official announcement from Sony, but we kind of knew it was coming. And to say that this was lackluster and boring and dull is just a complete understatement, right? Because it was completely lackluster, dull, and boring. So hopefully, for the next announcement, he did say there's going to be a lot more details coming in the following months, which makes sense. It is still nearly a year away next holiday season. So there's still a lot that they have to work on. There's a lot more work going into it. And I'm sure we will hear, obviously, a lot more soon. But in terms of kind of like the first announcement and the logo reveal, it just felt like a complete joke. But with that said, we can't expect more, obviously, and we will hear more. So good job, Sony. You really got the PS5 players excited. But I guess we'll see, right? We'll see if that backwards compatibility comes. We'll see the hardcore hardware-based ray tracing. I'm sure everything will look gorgeous. Godfall trailer and in gameplay stuff already looks great. So take it with that what you will. I'm Jeff Porter from Game Stinger, and we will see you guys next week.